This is YETI versus Bodum, battle for French press supremacy. The new YETI French Press is an incredibly tough coffee maker designed to brew a sophisticated batch of coffee too. Today we're comparing it to the classic Bodum French Press. Coming up, we're going to put these two head to head right here on the tailgate to see which one brews the best pot of coffee. And to make sure we're getting the best brew possible, we've got a certified coffee roaster and owner of Smoking Gun Coffee to brew the coffee for us today. But first, let's take a closer look at the new YETI French Press. It's made of kitchen-grade stainless steel and is double-wall insulated, so the first thing you're going to notice is the weight. It weighs almost 3 pounds empty, and it'll hold up to 1 liter of coffee. But this thing will never break, unlike the old Bodum. It's got a welded handle for extra strength, a no-slip bottom so it will stay where you put it. The lid and plunger are made of heavy-duty plastic and more stainless steel. The lid has a simple twist-to-lock design, which is handy so you won't have any unfortunate accidents getting the last drop. The real cool part is inside on the bottom of the plunger. The flange and filter here are something YETI calls the grounds control filter. It's designed to create a tight seal which helps hold heat and create pressure to improve coffee extraction during the plunge, but also to keep the grounds separated from the brew, stopping the brewing process so you can take your time and enjoy without your coffee going bitter like I'm used to in the old French press. The inside of the French press is made of ceramic, which aids in heat retention even more. Overall, it's another classic, simple, rugged design from YETI, a great looking product that feels like it might last forever. Now, there's also a larger version of the YETI French press that holds 2 liters of coffee if you've got a larger group to brew for or if you're just a highly caffeinated individual. Now it's time for the brew battle to begin. This is YETI versus Bodum. Our special guest and brewmaster today.
Super excited to be here. My name is Brandon Latoon, and I am the founder and head roaster at Smoking Gun Coffee Roasters. We are located in beautiful downtown Chilliwack, British Columbia. Yeah, it's gonna be fun putting some gear to the test. French press is probably one of the most commonly used brew methods, I would say, particularly out in the wild. It's a nice way to make a little bit more coffee if you're serving a couple of people. And it's been around a really, really long time. Most French presses are pretty basic. You have your vessel. It's got sort of a filter that you press through the grounds and hold them on the bottom. Pretty tried and true, pretty well tested. And I'm really looking forward to trying this new French press from YETI. And I immediately notice some differences. Obviously, this French press has seen some miles, as they typically do. It's probably living in the bottom of like your camping gear and stuff like that. I'm immediately noticing some fun stuff on this new YETI version. So it's got a lock on the top, which is kind of cool. And then it's also got sort of more of a gasket or a flange, which I'm assuming, based on the fact that it covers all the way on top, it's going to create some pressure, which might help extraction. It's also ceramic on the inside. I recommend whatever you're brewing in, you kind of warm it up with a little bit of hot water, just so that hot water isn't losing its energy to heating the vessel. It's actually going into brewing the coffee. I guess we'll just get right after it, eh? Today, I'm going to be brewing Show Pony. It's called an espresso blend, but it can be brewed any way you like. It's a blend based on coffees from Colombia, Honduras, and Ethiopia. So it's really, really bright, really, really sweet. It's got some sweet, like kind of citrusy notes on the back end, but nice and chocolatey. I'll let these continue heating. I'll grind up some coffee here, and then we will dive right into a side-by-side comparison. I don't have a scale, so we're just gonna eyeball it, but I'm gonna set each French press up exactly the same way. And we will do a 4-minute brew time on them, and then we'll let the cup do the talking. What I really, really like about Show Pony is that nice balance between the chocolates and the sweet caramels, but also that really, really bright citrusy pop on the back end. So let's pour some water in. When I pour it on, I'm just gonna try to evenly cover the grounds as much as possible. I'm going to use a little thermometer, just give it a little stir just to agitate the coffee that's floating on top. So we're at about 4 minutes here. I am going to start the plunge. I just like a nice even plunge. And what I'm noticing is that they're plunging almost with the exact same resistance. We're plunged. I'm gonna try to stick a thermometer here and just see what we're working with. We got about 185 Fahrenheit. And then in this Bodum, 170. So yeah, about 15 degrees Fahrenheit difference. Not nothing. So I'll take a little sample of this one. Sample this one. Let's have a taste. Yeah, great balance of like that caramelly chocolate with that kind of like tangerine-y citrus, which I love. And the Bodum, still really great balance. It's coming off just a little more muted, like a little more body heavy, a little more chocolate heavy, which is great. I think it's really pleasant. Impressions, and kind of what I suspected with the Yeti, I think it was able to pull out a little more of the complexity of the coffee, maybe because it held hotter during the brew process. Likely that gasket that created almost a little bit of a pressure seal was able to extract out some of those qualities a little bit better than the Bodum. That was really fun.
And if you've made several liters of coffee already and need a place to put it so you can make some more, YETI now has this 1.9 liter pitcher. It is also made of stainless steel, is double wall insulated, ceramic lined, is dishwasher safe, and has a twist to lock mag slider lid for easy pouring and no spills. So what does this coffee pro think of the new YETI French Press coffee maker?
Could nerd out with you all day on this. The little bit more heat that the Yeti retained gave it like a little bit more muscle to pull the goods out of the coffee, as well as this flange on the press versus just the stainless steel mesh sieve on this one. So I think Yeti's really onto something with adding that element to the French press method. And I mean, the proof was in the cup. Like the Yeti was a lot more complex, a lot brighter. Not to say that there was anything wrong with the Bodum. It just lacked sort of that dynamic electricity that gets me really excited about Show Pony. So I thought this did a really great job of accentuating exactly what I was hoping people would experience when they enjoy a cup of Show Pony.
Thanks again to Brandon from Smoking Gun Coffee Roasters for lending his expertise and brewing up the best coffee I've ever had off a tailgate.
It's really nice, actually.
You'll find links in the description to purchase your Yeti French Press from our video sponsor GP Home Furniture, and links to Smoking Gun Coffee to buy their beans. Thanks for watching. See you on the next Yeti Versus.
Super pleasant. Basically, the more developed the coffee is, and development can often be, understood as like darkness, if you like, but the more developed the coffee is, the more soluble it becomes. And that solubility means that darker roasted coffees typically are easier to extract. Like it's easier for the coffeeness to come out into the water versus a lighter roast coffee where it takes a little bit more effort. It's crazy to think that an espresso machine, which is really only 30 seconds, can pull so much concentrated coffee out of these coffee beans versus a brew method that's like 4 minutes like we just did. And that's largely to do with the pressure that an espresso machine generates.